So there's many things to learn. And having gone through it myself, there's a platform that needs to be, you know, that I feel that I need to share with everybody. So whether that be a blog for Maria Shriver and that's about women and empowering women in wellness, then, you know, that's where I have to go with that. Then that's fine too. If it's about working with people in the addiction community, then that's wonderful too, and I do the therapy for that. There's just, you know what, there's not enough about how to live a life of authenticity out there and how to really be the best you could be. And so it doesn't matter what, you know, platform you use, but for me, I want to try to use every platform. So this is why I'm so happy to be here on the radio talking about it.
What's like some of the most challenging clients you've worked with?
You know, what's really, really hard is when, you know, people do not have the support, I think, or don't have the love that they need when they actually leave treatment, or the support system that maybe they could get with, you know, a group of friends or therapy or meditation, like you said. I mean, there's a lot of different ways in which people could reach out, but I really think it's hard when you really don't have anybody. That's what's a big challenge, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the things that's interesting is that life is not good for everybody.
No.
And this assumption that you get sober, and, you know, we have a lot of famous, successful people on here in our show, but for a lot of people, it doesn't necessarily get better in terms of their overall life.
And right away.
Right. They actually have to engage in a lot of difficult problems, and getting sober means facing a lot of those things. And that's really challenging, I think. And I think one of the issues that we're having within the treatment community is how to extend treatment that goes beyond just sort of the initial detox and rehab, and then working with people for a much longer period of time and helping them get through difficult issues in life.
Well, they need to find other outlets, whether that be taking care of their body and physically getting into something. You could get, you know, you could start doing something like that. I don't want to be cliche and say yoga, but you could do yoga, meditation, running, and also taking care of your mind and reading and being involved with people that are doing good things and, you know, taking care of your spirit, whatever that means to you too. But I think you need to tend to all three things.
Yeah, I think you forget when, you know, after you get sober that there's a reason why you were drinking and using, because you didn't really want to deal with all the stuff that was life. And now you got sober, and now life is right there. And it's, you know, there's a lot of things for people to deal with. They have to deal with that wreckage of their past, the wife, the kids, their work. All that stuff is very, you know, so much pressure when you get out of rehab to go, okay, now I'm ready to go. Oh, wow, nothing changed. Right. Everything,
all the same characters are still
they're
here.
all they're all still there, and I just feel a little different. But you know, it's a difficult thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, sorry about that. I sounded something off with my headset, Andrew.
That's just your brain.
Okay, very interesting. Okay. If you just tuned in, you are listening to KLEAN Radio. That's KLEAN with a K. Give us a call at 888-539-2980.
See, I told you.
888-539-2980. We're in the studio tonight with Mark Gantt and Erica Spiegelman. Mark's an actor that you've probably seen in a ton of stuff. Were you getting into acting right away after? Has this been always, or was this... No?
No, I mean that's where the sobriety thing really comes in. I mean, I did my first play when I was like 5 years old or something, and that was the last time I did it. You know what I mean? I did a little musical, and I think people made fun of me. I don't remember the clarity of it, but I remember it being fun and then never doing it again. And then it wasn't until I got sober and I thought, well, I could move down to San Diego, be close to LA if I ever wanted to do it. Then I did that, and then I came to LA working behind the camera, and you know, it was really just, you know, something I've always wanted to do, but also to write and direct and, you know, be able to just create, you know, and you know, it wasn't something that came easy, you know. Like the idea was great, but I always joke about it. I was like, you know. The truth is, I just want to be famous so that people will love me, and you know, and that's really, you know, that and be loved, and then I realized that that's not going to actually sustain any kind of career.
That's a funny fantasy that a lot of people have, and
yeah,
in fact, I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
have
I was actually at I won't describe the event because it's somebody that everybody would know that I know, but anyway, a very famous person had this thing, and you know, we went backstage afterwards, and you know, it was just the same old thing. It was like, you know, hundreds of people swamping this person, just trying to get an autograph and their attention. Wow. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, what a waste of time. I'm like, you know, you sit there and you get to talk. You don't even get to really connect with the person, and then it seems so artificial and fake. And then the guy that I was with said, yeah, you know, I've been watching this happen my whole life. you know, and it's like, I'm just like, wow, you know, year after year, the same sort of like temporary sort of artificial love that's not real.
Right.
It's very strange.
And they're human, so that's what always gets me. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just another human being. What is it?
And they're always shorter than you think or
Yeah.
something, right?
No, Mark's actually taller.
Mark's actually taller.
Yeah, I mean, but how many people come up to you? You did that, you know, a lot of years you had for the Bannon Way. How many people walk up to you and think you're that dude?
Oh, like
Do
think
they?
that?
Yeah,
the-
you're the character they live through.
Well, no, I mean, I think most people know that I'm not the guy, but I definitely think that somebody was just telling me they just showed a friend of theirs that they were staying with, and you know, she said within like 10 minutes, she's like, "Wow, this guy's a dog." I mean, this is like really, you know, and he's like, "Yeah, but he's a really nice guy. This is not who he is." You know what I mean? And I mean, obviously, we were doing it for a certain audience, you know, these younger guys, and you know, we wanted to have fun. But you know, my girlfriend read the script when we first kind of draft, and she's like, "I'm at page 35, and you slept with 4 women." And I was like, "I didn't write that part. That was Jesse."
You're like, I said 3.
Yeah, exactly. I told him
Three's
stop
my
at
limit.
3.
And so basically, I mean, both you, Erica, Andrew, you've carved out this world that's almost, you know, that works with being sober. It works. And to people out there that are listening, I mean, we were talking about a lot of people I think don't get sober because of fear. You know, they wake up and all of a sudden they see everything around them. They see the wife, they see the kids, not realizing the problem's still going to be there even if you continue to drink. And yet you've managed to create a good life for yourself. How did that happen? I mean, was that just time, prayer, all that stuff, staying sober? How did you carve out that life that you wanted?
You know, I think that you were kind of mentioning it, Erica, about the community. It's like, you know, once, like I have, you know, like I would say half of my friends are sober. You know, I mean, I have a lot of people that are in the industry that aren't, but I mean, the majority of the people I talk to on a daily basis are in some sort of recovery, you know, and so, you know,
The other half are putting lines out on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Such as the film
during the
industry.
meeting in the middle of the day. Hey, you
they
know.
need the recovery, exactly.
Hollywood.
Exactly. But I think that's part of it, is that I, you know, besides doing, you know, the work and getting a sponsor and doing the steps and doing all the tools of the program and stuff, you know, working with others, but also I surround myself with people that are positive. And I don't always do that successfully, but you know, that's the goal, is to be working with people and having friends that are positive, that are doing things that you know, that challenge themselves. And I think that's been and that can challenge me, because I'm always I'm excited by people that are learning about themselves, that are trying to become better, and that always helps me become better, you know.
Right. It's about evolving, keeping people around you that want to evolve and grow and learn. And it's funny you say that, because it's you know, I do not, you know, I'll reveal it. I don't go to 12 steps. I'm not AA. But for me, it's more about, when you say being around people that are sober, I agree with that. But sobriety means so much more than just putting down a drink or a drug. For me, I have a lot of people around me that live sober, but when I say sober, I mean live honest. They're good people. They, you know, treat the people that they love with respect, and they treat themselves with respect. And I think, you know, that is really what sobriety is for me, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't living honestly, that are doing, you know, many wrong things, whether that be in their personal life, business, whatever it is. And for me, that's not living sober. So for me, it's about keeping people that are living a good life, being honest to themselves.
Yeah, you know, I think it's easy for people to fall into the trap of sort of the developmental delay that comes along with addiction. You know, they have problems, they have bad coping skills.
Right.
They start using, it seems like it's working for them. They end up addicted after, you know, abusing drugs and doing all sorts of stuff for a while.
Right.
And they come out of it and they're still developmentally delayed at whatever age they started.
Very true.
And then all of a sudden they've got to somehow figure out how to become the adult that they are at the age that they've all of a sudden become. And that's not always a pretty thing.
No.
It's the reverse of Big. You know, it's like at the end of Big, he gets to be a kid again.
So
you know,
you're giving away movie script ideas, and you got.
I've always right,
Yeah.
but it's like the Zoltan, you know, the Zoltar, right? He gets to be a kid. You know, he gets to be a kid, and it's like almost like you wake up sober, and you know, you're still 35.
It's a rebirth, though, like you said. It really is.
And I mean, but I think to the people out there that are listening, they're you know, your Sunday night. You know, Sunday night for me was one of the hardest nights in alcoholism and addiction, because nothing. I had nothing going on a Sunday night. The last football game was played. I had to wait another week to root for something.
Sunday nights are
and
hard.
you know, people are getting ready for work Monday. I wasn't. And people were ready to have relationships, all this good stuff. I wasn't. And I know people out there listening are going through the
Or
same.
people are trying to stop drinking so they can go show up at work.
Or
Right,
exactly.
right.
Fighting the clock. You know,
But,
sitting there.
but they're shaking
I
so
can,
bad.
I can have a couple more and still get some sleep.
That clock was the
Exactly.
worst, let me tell you.
That
You
clock.
just sit
Okay?
there watching it
All
tick minute by minute.
And to people out there that don't think vodka smells or is part of that clock,
right.
it does. Okay? The only people that
Comes out
don't
of your
think vodka
pores.
smells are people that drink vodka.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Because I've smelled vodka. By the way, if you just tuned in, you are listening to Clean Radio. That's Clean with a K. We're coming up on a break soon. We're going to start taking callers after the break. But the number here is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We have calls lining up. But also, you can find all of our past shows on Facebook. Go ahead, like us. We have something really cool that we're in the middle of doing. We're giving away a bed a month for the next year until the next
That's awesome.
National Recovery Month from this September to next September. And if people go to cleantreatmentcenter.com and go to the website, you could see how you could get involved in that and how you could potentially get a free bed. And it's going amazing. We already have our first person that we're taking as a regular caller to the show, Judy from Florida. And it's, you know, how many people are out there
So
right
great.
now that are not getting help? Because, Andrew, you're huge into this. How many people aren't getting help because there is no help?
About probably 70% of the people that need help.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shocked by the number of people we get. And, you know, I see all the emails that come to me from people just requesting help. And I get, you know, probably 3 or 4 an hour of people with no money, no resources that are desperate for help. And it can get a little depressing and overwhelming. But we'll talk about positive stuff when we come back. And I want to give out the number one more time real quick.
The number is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're in the studio with Mark Gantt and Erica Spiegelman. The discussion continues at cleanradio.com.
Are you struggling with an addiction that's ruining your life? Want to have a confidential conversation with a professional that will immediately assist you? Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs and would like a free drug testing kit and consultation? Clean Treatment Center is standing by right now to help those with addictions and the people who care about them. Call 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040. Or go to Clean Treatment Center, that's clean with a K, cleantreatmentcenter.com.